Hey, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today I wanted to discuss your platform, what you should be going with for building anything high frequency trading, as well as some other stuff regarding R and all that. So let me start with the fact of using R versus MATLAB. Over the last, I'd say, year, I've been heavily pushing a lot of MATLAB, and I love MATLAB to the utmost. The problem with MATLAB is the expense of it. The licensing is a big factor on one of the reasons why I've now switched to R, just due to the fact of it's open source, it's free. And that led me to the wonder of Linux versus Windows. This is all again in coming from the perspective of both algorithms and trading platforms. Now I've posted a lot of stuff about R, my opinion on R, and why it's great. Now it comes down to the open source programming languages of what's best for what type of platform that you're wanting to work with. From my perspective, and at the end of the day, I don't really give a rat's ass about what other people think. If it's better to do it in R, C Sharp, C++, Ruby on Rails, whatever, Java, Python, doesn't really matter. From my perspective, I'm moving forward with C++. The challenge that I found is I'm a firm believer in using open source technologies, not using any black box trading platforms or APIs or anything that has a commercial connotation to it. It's too expensive. From a banking perspective, I can understand why they want to work with a commercial product, dealing with a few quants in the last few weeks and actually the last few months. A lot of these banks and hedge funds only use and will only use commercial product. Just for the fact of if something goes wrong with a trading algorithm or a strategy, or something goes wrong with the platform, board of directors or shareholders want to know the fact that they can sue some sort of vendor. The problem with open source, obviously, is there's really no vendor, and who can they sue? So that's one of the reasons why you'll always find a lot of banks using a lot of the commercial product, like anything from .NET, Microsoft Technologies, to something like MATLAB. Obviously, the manufacturer there is MathWorks, or any of the other bigger commercial products used in the world of trading and high frequency and all that sort of stuff. But that leads me to open source, and where I'm going with it is, obviously R is completely open source, and it's a very good analytical tool, no different than MATLAB. Actually, I'm finding R to be a lot more advanced than MATLAB. Some of the packages are quite high quality. The documentation seems to be just as adequate, and that's kind of led me to feel pretty confident with R. So the big disadvantage with R is obviously because it's open source, always under development. There's really no quality controls, so you could run into high risk packages from R, or that could lead you into a potential challenge with strategies and doing live production trading with something like R and C++. So that leads me back to the trading platform. I've always used one trading platform that is typically considered open source. You get complete source code, it's free. It is done in C Sharp, obviously .NET, Windows. It's a very good platform. The nice thing about it is that you get up to 17 or some number of connectors to a variety of different brokers. It's quite good. It's very advanced, big community that use it, and a C Sharp. What I'm finding with that same platform, though, is a lot of newer tools are coming out for it, but there's a lot of commercial on a subscription basis to use it, namely to bridge it to something like a MATLAB to an R, and also a strategy development tool as well, which is getting very expensive. So all in all, I'm finding that is quickly no longer becoming an option as well. from my perspective. So therefore, I'm very happy to be part of R, leading me down the path of a new trading platform. Essentially, you don't really need a trading platform. What you need is an API into your chosen broker. In my case, being from Canada, I only have the option of Interactive Brokers, so I've obviously focused on IB's own API. Because I'm going Linux-based or Windows, I have a choice between really Java and C++ using their API, POSIX API, which is meant for non-Windows. And I've seen two open source, call them extended APIs or alternative APIs that look good. One of them I come across is called a trading shim. It seems to be either abandoned, hasn't been touched code-wise for at least 2 years. But I haven't really played with it yet, but it looks really good. And I'm just going to demo that, or not demo it, but show you the site and all that, and what I like about it thus far. All in all, let's talk about C++ and Java. As I said, I'm always been wanting to more focus on a C++ platform versus Java. I do know that Java is close to being as in terms of as fast as C++. There's no argument there. With Java and its garbage collector, there could be an issue there. We need to optimize the JDK, or sorry, the JVM, and blah 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 blah. It just becomes a whole other maintenance nightmare that I personally just don't want to get involved with. Therefore, I want to stay with C++. From the coding perspective, I find Java is definitely much easier. The C++ can be hairier, especially when you're working with your own need to work with some form of, obviously, memory management. It can be a big pain in the ass to work with, and that's why C++ isn't really is not as popular from an open source trading platform perspective. So fortunately, I found this thing called the trading shim, which is C++. It is meant for Linux or even Mac OS X, and that's good. And it connects directly into the the C++ API for Interactive Brokers, which is another benefit. It seems to be pretty good, and I'm going to show you again that in a second. But going back to the Java versus C++ debate, for me, I'm not here to go on about some kind of language war between Java and C++. Just from my perspective, I feel more comfortable with C++. And not only that, a lot of the brokers, banks use C++ and only C++. So, in essence, that is something that is really important to me. So that if I do decide to some kind of career path, C++ is definitely the better option, just to hone in on my C++ development skills. Java is as popular, but C++ seems to be better on a career path. So that's one of the big advantages that it has. So, like I said, I've got this C++ open source. It's not really a trading platform, but it's just a connection into your C++ trading platform into Interactive Brokers. So let's go to it. So I've got the URL set up. It's very easy. trading-shim.org. It's very old school design, I know. Who cares? The important thing is that it works. I haven't played with it. I'll probably put some further videos of it and what I think of it and A few things I want people to realize when you come to the site. All your menuing is at the bottom here. So nice thing is about this website is that there's some PDFs. There's a big effort been put into this Getting Started PDF. It's over 100 pages, 180 pages. There's also a quick start, I guess, of another manual. So quite a bit of effort's been put in to give a better idea how this platform works, or this API works with the Interactive Brokers TWS software that gives you connection into the ECN of Interactive Brokers, and it's quite impressive, very easy to read, and I'm planning on moving forward with it. Again, again, C++ is C++ only. Now, that leads me into the frequently asked questions, or the FAQ. Obviously, it's Linux based. There is some work done in in Ruby. You can connect. This is a nice thing about with the C++ and the R bridging. Initially, you knew I was all over this .NET C# stuff with MATLAB. Yes, it can be done. I've proven it. I've put up videos on it, but I do see latency with it. You can do the same thing with C++ and R, and you can have C++ directly call your R. There's various options available, and no different than with MATLAB, using the JBuilder, using the .NET Builder, using the MATLAB coder. And again, using C++, I do have the ability to recode all my MATLAB M scripts into C++, and still could be used into this product here, the trading shim. So I have loads of options here, which is really nice. So obviously this is done in CentOS Linux. Doesn't matter if it's Ubuntu. I'm still deciding between Ubuntu and CentOS. Most likely we'll stay with Ubuntu just for the package management, and Ubuntu is quite nice. There is some further resources used with a MySQL database. Yes, I have put up loads of videos on NoSQL, Cassandra, Redis, all that. You can still use that with R for scaling, but this platform uses MySQL. It still throws everything up in the air in terms of architecture, but right now it does use MySQL to insert all your tick data, historical data into this MySQL database. The manual I just showed you does have an architecture of the database for your MySQL. Actually, it's using two databases, but I'll let you learn that on your own. And the nice thing is there's some screenshots available. I'll show you that in a second. There is an example session, blah blah blah. Now, one thing you do need to realize is really no GUI for this application. It's all done on the command line. It's a console app only. There's loads of powerful things that it can do when it connects into your interactive brokers, as well as doing your trading, your tick management, historical, all that. And not only that, but the nice thing is that you can bridge this with your R seamlessly through a variety of options, and I'll get into that in future videos. One that I have discovered through this is through something called R, and then there's something called what do you call it? RServe. So that is like using R as a server that you can allow clients like this application, the trading shim, to connect into your R. This is very powerful, no different than that bridge between MATLAB and C# with some kind of trading platform. Obviously, I'm replacing R with the MATLAB and using this trading shim as the trading platform and to execute and to suck in all the tick data. So those are some really nice options. Again, all done in C++ to make it very fast. Now, let me show you some other important things that this trading shim has. The screenshots. The thing that I want people to understand is that, again, here's some screenshots using the Linux shell or command line console, and there's a variety of different documents on how to use it. But the thing here is I want to highlight is how powerful this is in terms of execution. We all know I put up a URL on my blog about the comparison between using Java, Python, R, even the newer languages like Groovy, Scala, as well as C++. No matter what you do, C++ still takes a cake in terms of speed, which is what you need for an HFT platform. This reinforces it with with this trading shim. Yes, the order completed a round trip from transmission to a well-formed request to fill confirmation in this long 0.16848 seconds, and the shim finished reporting and the fill in formatted downstream clients through logging in, get this, 0.004272 seconds after the sub-second fills and sub-millisecond reporting. We are very pleased with the speed here. In light in our focus to design for scalability for hundreds of simultaneous lines of inquiry. Okay, that is it right there. This is good enough for something like very similar to an HFT platform or environment. This could be potentially the way to go in terms of using Linux, C++, as well as using your R to bridge all this together. It basically completes the full circle of your analytics using R, C++ with this trading platform, or I don't call it a trading platform, but using it with the Interactive Brokers API. So there you go. I'm very happy that I've got something in place. I want to test it, play around with it in the next coming weeks. And hopefully you are excited about it as I am. A lot of my investigation will be posted for my premium members, as well as some other stuff. Hopefully that'll help you out.